Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us in Barcelona ahead of tomorrow's Nations League fixture against Spain. We do have a translation service in operation, so they will ensure that questions are translated, asked in Spanish, will be translated back into English. And we will take questions from the floor. Anton, we'll begin with yourself.
Good afternoon. Nice to see you both. Sarina, all 26 players training. How happy are you? And is everybody available for selection tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm happy because we're all training and everyone came through fit. So we have everyone available.
So that means Ella Toon's available. How much of a boost is that, considering obviously she has been limited in the last week or so?
Yeah, of course, that's really good. But also for Alessia that she's back. So we have some decisions to make and that's very nice.
Talk about those decisions. Lauren Hemp, is she available to sort of start two games so closely? And I suppose are Alex Greenwood and Georgia Stanway available to start as well, considering they've had their issues?
Yeah, everyone is available and everyone can start.
Okay, I can see the smile. I can see. Look at that.
No, you want the next question. What's your lineup? But
I'm not that daft. I know you're not going to get that. I'm just wondering though, obviously, look, you're playing against one of the best teams in the world. Everyone's thinking about the squad selection come Thursday, but I suppose tomorrow's about winning, going through in the Nations League. How difficult is it for the players, the squad players then, to impress, considering there's so much on the line for them beyond just the game?
Yeah, I think, of course, that's hard because exactly what you say, you come close to squad selection. At the same time, we're just playing a game again tomorrow. We want to win that game. And also, that's a preparation for the Euros. So, yeah, short term, trying to win that game. A little longer term, a bit longer term is preparation Euros, which, of course, is the bigger picture.
Lucy, nice to see you. Obviously, look, one player missing from the squad is Millie Bright, someone you know for club and country really well. Just how much is she missed, and how hopefully that she'll be back, considering obviously she's such a huge presence?
Yeah, I mean, Millie's a really big personality, big player for England and obviously for Chelsea. She's missed definitely in the sense of what she brings, well, both on and off the pitch. She's one of the leaders in the team, not just because she's the oldest, but just because of her experience, her attributes as a person. But yeah, I mean, I think we've all spoke to Millie through the week. We're all friends with her and stuff like that. We've just offered her our support, and you know, we just want to make sure that she's okay, both physically and mentally. It's been a long season for everyone, but having spent every day with Millie, I know that she's obviously someone who's quite tough and maybe holds a lot in. So I think it's been quite brave for her to come out and speak. And I think just from a friend perspective, I just want her to be okay, and give her as much time as she needs to feel okay again.
Obviously, you're back in Barcelona where you had great success, especially within the Champions League. But now there are more Champions League winners in the England squad. How important is that? Not just for the development sort of club football in England, but also for this England team to have winners on the highest level? Yeah,
definitely. I think it exposes you to that feeling of playing in big finals. Exposes you to what it takes to win. And the more players that we have that are used to that winning feeling, the experience going up against the best players in the world, because that's what you do in the Champions League as well, is fantastic for England. I think it's something that I've always said, obviously years and years ago, a long time ago when I first went to Lyon, that was what I want to do. Test myself against the best players, win the Champions League, bring that experience to England. And you see, as years go on and more players have done it, Alex, Nikita, Izzy Christensen, Jodie Taylor, Kira, and then now we've got all the Arsenal girls as well. Like it's just fantastic for us as an England team and as a country to have so many more players who are doing great things and achieving great things.
Hello both. Hi Lucy. As a group of players, knowing that the Euro squad will be announced after this game, how do you weigh up giving this game, which is really important, everything, with also wanting to protect yourself and not get injured at this point?
I think I play every game like it could be my last, so I don't think that's an issue. And I think anyone that plays, I think especially for England, you put on that England shirt and you don't want to leave anything on the pitch. You're playing against one of the best teams in the world in Spain. You've got an opportunity for England. You can't ever think too far ahead. Never take things for granted. I think I speak to someone before. I'm one of the lucky ones who have been to so many tournaments, but I know that so many players I've played with, they've only had the opportunity to be at one or two or even none at all. So I think as players, you just have to take what's in front of you. It's even like you asked, how do the squad players feel? But, you know, the squad isn't getting picked tomorrow based off of your actions tomorrow. It's what you've done all season, what you've done in an England shirt, what you do whilst we're training on days like today or last week. It's every single moment of what you live and breathe. So I think tomorrow for us is another game, important game, Nations League game, another tournament we want to win. And then once that whistle blows, then it's what's the next thing, and that's the Euro selection for Sarina, obviously.
You're going to put your big shin pads on, though?
No, they have to catch
Big
it
shin
first.
pads.
You touched on it there, but winning the Nations League, or at the very least reaching the finals, it's a silly question, but how important is it that the England team do it this time?
Yeah, I mean, the Nations League is such a difficult competition. You know, it's throughout the season and different teams are in different form and missing players at different times and coming back. So it's a difficult competition, but it's one that's really exciting. Obviously, we were so disappointed with the first edition of the Nations League. It made us drop into that second seed, which has been so difficult to get back out because it's really competitive. So yeah, I think for us, it's definitely a goal of ours. A big goal. It's another chance of silverware. It's history making, and as players and as staff, you always want to lift trophies, and it's another opportunity to do that.
Same question to you, Sarina. Why is it so important to reach the last four this time around?
Yeah, well, you get the same answer, maybe in other words. Of course, we want to win, and every prize that you can win, you want to win, and you want to have a good performance too tomorrow. And but it's also, I do say, we're also preparing for the Euros. So we like if a player has a little injury, which would be a risk for the Euros, then I wouldn't play her. And that's one difference. And still, at the same time, I think our squad is strong enough that we can still have a good performance tomorrow against a top team. But I think we're a good team too, and we're going to do everything to win that game.
And just one last question from me on Lauren James. It sounds like she's making terrific progress, and we all know what Lauren James can bring to an England squad. If she wasn't going to be fit for the first game of the Euros, but could be fit later on, would you consider taking a player that might not be ready for that first game, but could contribute later on in the tournament?
Yeah, that's of course we already said we're trying to get her fit. Of course, first of all, she's trying to get fit with all the support from Chelsea, with all the support from us. So that she's doing really well, and we're moving forward, and she need to tick some boxes. And when she does, and we can progress, then that's very good, because we think she can make a difference in the Euros. But she needs to be healthy. She needs to recover from load, and of course she needs to perform at her highest level. And I'm pretty positive that's going to work.
Thanks, Jerry. Go to Tom.
Hi, Sarina. Nice to see you. Can you give us a sense of how many decisions you've still got to make before your squad announcement? Like, are you down to the final couple of places to still decide on, or how close are you?
Yeah, we are pretty close. And still, of course, you still want to go to the game tomorrow and then make the final decisions. But we're pretty close.
And can I look back to Friday, please, and just ask about one of the players who came off the bench, Maya Letitia. Where do you see her strongest position for England?
Yeah, I think she can play both positions. Of course, with Man United, she plays centre-back. For us, she's played mainly as a right full-back. That's the position that I see her. But I also, of course, know that she can play as a centre-back too.
Can you understand why, for Man United fans, that might be a bit confusing, given I think she's played 66 WSL games in a row at centre-back, always centre-back. Can you understand why they might be watching, feeling that's a bit weird?
Yeah, I can imagine they think that.
Lucy, can I ask you, I suppose, as well, from a right-back point of view, what qualities do you admire in Maya, and sort of how do you see her future?
Yeah, I mean, Maya's probably got, for her age as well, she's got one of the biggest futures ahead of her. She's a great person. As a player, I love her so much. I think her tenacity, I can see why Sarina plays her at right back, because the things that I love doing at right back, Maya's got all those attributes. She's really good on the ball. She wants to attack. You see her at centre back attacking and scoring goals, so why can't she do that at right back? Loves defending, strong, fast, fit, like the attributes that you have across the back line. Maya's got them in abundance. So I think for her, it's really good for her development to learn two positions. When I was Maya's age, I actually played centre back at England, and now I'm the right back. So it's vice versa. I think you learn from the experiences. And Maya, the person that she is, you just see it every time she has the opportunity. She just takes it with both hands, and that'll only serve her well in the future.
Thank you. And can I ask one more question, Sarina? You said to Anton that everyone was available to start. Is there anyone who you need to manage the minutes, maybe after the hour mark, that won't be able to play the full 90 minutes, or are they all ready for 90 minutes?
No, well, you can imagine that some players who are coming from injuries and not having played any minutes or not so much minutes, that we have to think about that, but also that we have to see how the game goes and how intense it is. But there's absolutely a couple of players that we are aware of that we have to take care of them too, not taking too much risk.
Thank you and good luck.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go down to Emma at the BBC, please.
Hi both, nice to see you. Sarina, just a quick one. You sort of touched on this with Kit post-match, but that sort of idea of having to back up that really strong performance at Wembley with another strong performance here. Obviously, we saw against Belgium, it was sort of, a really good result, then a not so good result. How important is it that you do that this time and really back up that performance?
Yeah, Kate asked me that question. Yeah, last Friday. Yes, I think we want to perform. We always want to perform. And in February, we had a tie against Portugal. We had a win against Spain. So that was different. And in April, we had a good performance against Belgium, and then not a good performance, the second one. I think tomorrow Spain is a totally different game than we have had on Friday. And different opponents. I think we started really well against Portugal, and it really helped that we scored 2 goals within 5 minutes, and we just played very well. Of course, we are aware that Spain is different, is the highest level we can imagine. So we have to have a good start again. And yes, of course, we're going out there to play the best performance and to take another step in our style of play, in our development, and have a good game plan.
Yeah, and Lucy, just, thinking, obviously, any time these two teams meet, everyone thinks back to the World Cup final. I just wonder, from your perspective, how do you think England have adapted the way that they play maybe over the last 2 years to kind of deal with the likes of Spain and, the best teams in the world?
I mean, I think we're probably one of the most adaptive teams in the world. I think we've got the style where we can possess the ball, we can counter-attack, we can play in behind. We've got fast players, we've got technical players, we've got strong. I think it's something that we've been working on for a number of years. We've faced Spain many times, more than just the World Cup final, the Euros previously, the Euros before that as well, before Sarina was even here.
Cup.
Yeah, many times, and the same with the likes of Germany, with the USA. I think that's just the top teams nowadays. Is you have to turn up for every game, for every moment, because both teams so many teams are capable of so many different things. And we're growing as a team. I think it's something that we speak about a lot as an England team, how we can adapt in games, how we can change against different teams. But ultimately, you have to put on the performance on the day. And I think that's maybe this Nations League. If you maybe lose a little bit of yourself, the other team performs. That's the level of this competition. So as long as we keep our levels high and we know how to beat Spain, they equally know how to beat us. It's two top teams going head to head, and I think that's just something that both teams will enjoy.
Where do you think both teams are at the moment? Let's say, the Euros were starting tomorrow, where would you see both teams being at? Yeah,
I think pretty even. I think you look at the sets of players who are in form, top players being back, doing well this season. I think both teams are in very good position. I think going into the tournament, you're arguing with maybe England, Spain, Germany, France. There's like a handful of teams who are probably in the same position. But it's like we saw in the last Euros, and even in the World Cup, 1-0 games to get to the final, close games in the final, but that's just the way it is. You can't really, it's opinion at the end of the day, and it's just who performs on the day, and I think we've got what it takes to outperform any team, but equally so as other teams as well.
All the best, thank you.
Thanks, Emma. We'll go across to Katie.
Hello both, good to see you. Sarina, I'll come to you first. Chloe Kelly was among the goal scorers against Portugal. How much of a difference have you seen in her in the last 6 months?
Yeah, the most of all, that she is very, very happy, very energetic. And of course, going into Arsenal, having great performances. And I think she has improved again. So I think in possession, but also out of possession. And it's enjoyable to watch her, and she can do different things. And as she came on for us, of course, it was as a finisher, and straight away she did well again. So even she heads now the ball in the back of the net, so that was very nice.
Yeah, she's certainly showing signs of getting back to her best, and like you say, with a smile on her face as well. Are you hoping that continues for the Euros, that good form, and just her being happy?
Yes, of course, I hope that. And she's enjoying herself. You know, she trained really well. She trained also with a smile on her face, working really hard to be ready. Whether she's starting, whether she's coming from the bench, she's doing everything what she can to get her performance at the highest level and be there for the team.
And Lucy, Chloe Kelly obviously scored the winning goal at the Euros. Sum up what that moment did for the team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was the moment in history, wasn't it? I think the thing that changed women's football in England the most. Obviously it was Chloe's moment, but I think it was so many moments that went up into it. And yeah, it couldn't have happened to a more excitable person. I think we were all so happy for Chloe, and the way she celebrated and things. I think it really represents this team, and just that moment will forever go down in history. And yeah, it's like it's not only iconic, but it's whenever you see Chloe now, it's like that's your first thought. So it's fantastic for her, and obviously for us as a team.
Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Katie, we'll go across to Kit, please.
Hi both. Lucy, Spain are obviously the world champions. They're most people's favourites for the Euros. I appreciate you might not agree with that, but how much confidence could it give the playing group if you were to get a second successive victory against Spain?
Yeah, obviously a lot of confidence, but we already have beat them this year, so we gain a lot of confidence from that. Our players are performing well. We've done really good performances. That Spain performance in Wembley was fantastic from us, both defensively and attacking. You have to take confidence from every game, whether it is Spain, Belgium, Portugal, even the losses and the draws as well. You can find things to gain confidence from. But it's not the be all and end all tomorrow. It is for the Nations League a little bit for us, but in terms of the Euro, that's a different tournament. We might not even face Spain depending on different draws and stuff, and all we can do is focus on the group that's in front of us. Very tough group, but a very exciting group. I think all eyes will be on that group, no doubt, for many reasons. But yeah, it'll give us confidence, but we get that confidence from ourselves and from each other.
And can I just pick up on something you said to Anton about how you and many others have spoken to Millie this week? How kind of, I suppose, connected does she still feel to this camp, even though she's not here at the moment?
I guess you'd have to ask her that. But I'm assuming, yeah, I mean, there's many players who are really good friends of Millie's teammates. Many of us have reached out just to check on her as friends more than just teammates. And Millie knows she's always connected to this team. And the same with any Lioness, past, future and present. Even someone like Jill Scott is connected to this team. We can't get rid of her. But yeah, there's even future Lionesses who are still connected to this team. I think that's the great thing, is that we're so open and we have such good connections throughout the team, whether you're here in person or not.
And obviously, speaking of another player you know very well, this international camp started with the news about Mary. I know kind of the dust has settled a bit from this time last week, but just how did you as an individual take that news and how have you digested it since then?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was the first person she called to tell. I was probably in the know before everyone else. Just because we have such a good bond and connection. I think you think of players who know what it means to play for England. I think Mary is one of them right at the top. Her career at England's been absolutely fantastic. Obviously the news was difficult to take as teammates, because we all love Mary. We all wanted to be here. But as a person and as a friend, we all accept her decision. We celebrate her, everything that she's done for this team, both on and off the pitch. And then we just have to look forward. We've got fantastic goalkeepers here. Mary's left a great legacy that means that they're all in a great position, that they're all prepared because they've had such a great mentor in the past number of years to learn from, and hopefully, the goalkeepers that we have now can just live in that energy and just enjoy the fact that they were able to work alongside such a great professional, and then they can just bring that to the team as well.
When was that phone call with Mary?
That's for me to know.
And just Sarina, just one for you. Obviously, when we saw how England beat Spain in February, it was spending a decent amount of time without the ball, defending very well. I think Millie called it a proper English performance. Is that the template to beat the Spanish side, or can you beat them in multiple ways?
Yeah, I think, of course, we all know what they're capable of, and they're very tight on the ball. So we have to be aware of that. We have to, out of possession, be really tight and really play compact and very aggressive in moments. But I also think we had the ball too. We had opportunities too. And I think in that game, we also created momentum at parts of the game where we did really well, and we put them under pressure, and that's what we want to do tomorrow too. You can't control everything, so I think it's going to go back and forth. They might be a little bit more on the ball than but we're definitely going to be on the ball too, and we're definitely going to find some moments where we hopefully harm them.
Thanks, Kit. We'll take questions from the Spanish media. We'll just go behind. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Roberto Quintana from Spanish Public Television. This is for Sarina. You are here in Spain, 26 players, but only 25 can play because Grace Clinton is suspended. I don't know, how do you rate it?
How do I rate?
How do you rate this suspension, this yellow card that can...
Yeah, well, of course, there's a disappointment. Was an unlucky moment. It's also part of the game. She plays with a lot of intensity and very aggressive. So yeah, she got a yellow card, and so she can't play tomorrow. That's a fact. So we're moving on with the team we have and get other players on the pitch.
Y esta para Lucy, no sé si puedes responder en español, si quieres. ¿Cómo ves al equipo?
En inglés, ¿no?
Bueno, yeah. It's up to you. ¿Cómo ves al equipo español y si has hablado estos días con alguna de tus compañeras?
So the question is, how do you see the Spanish squad, and have you been in touch with some of your former teammates?
I'm going to speak in English, I think it's better. Yeah. I think their squad's maybe slightly stronger than the last time we played them. Obviously, Alexia and Patri are back, two of Spain's best players. So that'll be nice to play against them, see them. And yeah, have I been in contact with them? Yeah, like some of the players. Obviously, I spoke to Mariona after winning the Champions League to say congratulations. Someone who I've made really good friends with at Barcelona. And yeah, I'll be happy to see them all at the game, like I did at Wembley. Have a really good relationship with so many of them. Obviously, spent 2 fantastic years in Barcelona. So yeah, really good friends of mine.
El equipo está un poco más fuerte de lo que estaba cuando jugamos por última vez. Hay recuperaciones importantes. Alexia, Patri han vuelto desde que jugamos el último partido. Pues feliz y contenta de volver a jugar con ellas, de volver a verlas. He estado en contacto, pues creo que hablé con Mariona para felicitarla después de la victoria en la Champions, y como pasó la última vez en Wembley, bueno, yo pasé 2 años fantásticos en Barcelona y son buenas amigas.
Hi both, I'm Diego Fonseca from El País, the Spanish newspaper. I would like to ask Sarina, do you think that what happened tomorrow in this match will have an impact on the confidence that Spain and England will have at the Euro in July?
No, I think we are both teams that are growing into the tournament, or towards the tournament, I would say. Of course, you want to get a good performance tomorrow, but I think we had some performances over time that we showed ourselves we can do really well, and I think Spain has the same. This is Nations League. As soon as the tournament, the Euro start, there's going to be different competition, where things are all open again. We just want to get a good performance from our side tomorrow, and of course we want to win the game, and show that we we'll take the next step in our development of play.
Thank you.
Hi, Sara Gutierrez from the Spanish National Radio. My question is for Lucy. Lucy, are you happy to be here? I don't know how you feel after those 2 years in here, having the opportunity to play that game in here. It's not Camp Nou, but at the end, I don't know if it feels like home for you. Thank you.
Why not? It is like home. I mean, I lived like 5 minutes from this stadium. I drove past here many times. Español is not casa, that's for sure. Barca is. But yeah, no, it's a fun. I had 2 amazing years here. I got on really well with the team, the city, the fans, everything. It was an amazing experience that I had. Even being at the Champions League final last weekend and watching it, and I bumped into so many of the Barca staff and fans and players, and seeing them. Yeah, I've got really good memories, and really happy to be back to visit, and can tell all the girls where to go and eat and get coffee and stuff.
Okay, any final questions? If not, we'll see you for tomorrow's game. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.